Shalom, I'm Rabbi Mikie Goldstein, the Rabbi of Adat Shalom Immanuel, the Masorti congregation in Rehovot, Israel. As the month of Elul begins and the high holidays draw near, I double up on my preparations for this period of the year. One of the ways I do that is by looking at the piyutim, the liturgical poems that we recite as part of our slichot, the prayers in which we ask for forgiveness from the Almighty. One of my favorite piyutim is the one that opens the slichot section of the evening service on Yom Kippur after we have said Kol Nidrei, recited the Shema, and prayed the Amidah. You can find this piyut, this prayer, in the Machzor Lev Shalem on page 223, and in Masorti's Yom Kippur Machzor, Poteach Sha'ar, on page 40. It begins this way. Yaaleh תחנוננו מערב, ויבוא שבעתנו מבוקר, ויראה רינוננו עד ערב. May our supplications rise up at evening, our pleas arrive with the dawn, our songs transform at dusk. In the evening, as Yom Kippur begins, we offer up our supplications. In doing so, we are not sure if and how they will be received. Nighttime represents the unknown. The darkness covers up our demons. Uncertainty reigns when we cannot see a way through. As the new day dawns, as we begin to perceive a possible path forward, and we become more deliberate in our thinking, we are able to say, our pleas arrive with dawn. We can perhaps discern that our prayers have somewhere to go. Perhaps even God is listening, or perhaps the angels of prayer are just waiting to receive our words and pass them on. The light of the day allows us to build our confidence that atonement is actually attainable. By the time we reach the end of the day, as the sun goes down, and we reach the climax of Yom Kippur, as we come to the end of this 40-day period that began at the beginning of the month of Elul, we are not only hopeful, but perhaps we are actually even sure that we have managed to move ourselves into the book of the righteous, that hopefully we will deserve a more positive year ahead. As Yom Kippur ends, we are able to declare that our songs transform the dusk. This piyut refers to an evolution from the uncertainty of the dark, through the hope that morning brings, to the confidence of receiving forgiveness by the end of the day. Each section of this poem begins with the inquietude that we feel as Yom Kippur begins. It continues with the aspirations that we dream of during the day, and culminates with the faith that we have that by the end of this special day, God will grant us our penance. As the piyut teaches us, we knock on God's door in the evening with supplications, with requests for forgiveness, and with cries for salvation. In the morning, we watch as God accepts our prayers because of their sincerity, because God has actually promised to care for us, and because we are trying to be better people. As we reach the end of the day, we are now able to sing and be joyous. And this is because we have no doubt that God wants us near, that God wishes to be in relationship with us. This microcosm is typical of the period that starts at the beginning of the month of Elul. This 40-day period represents the time it took for God to destroy the world during the Great Flood, but also the time which Moses spent on Mount Sinai receiving the Torah. He studied there in order to bring it back to us here, to the people of Israel, and to the rest of the world. Will we squander this 40-day period as did those before the Great Flood? Or will we be more like Moses, our teacher, who not only studied for himself, but prepared himself to be able to teach us, the people of Israel, and the rest of the world, the beauties that the Torah has in store for us. Yaaleh en katenu me'erev, v'yavo elecha miboker, v'yera'eh eleinu ad arev. May our prayers rise up at evening, coming to you at the dawn, transforming us at dusk.